All right, video number 4 here in a series because we're on a roll. How to handle or how to work with people who, when they make a request, in this case around sex, you feel like they can't take a no gracefully, or that they're gonna get weird about it, or their no is gonna crush them. So you're picking up that they can't handle rejection. This is Cathy Vartuli from theintimacydojo.com.
This is Reid from readaboutsex.com.
Wow.
And it does feel awkward, and I've definitely I've been in that position where it felt like it mattered so much that the other person say yes, but that doesn't necessarily make the other person feel comfortable or safe. And as adults, we're responsible for getting our own needs met and then asking other people to participate if they want to. As a small child, we do have needs we can't get met any other way.
Mm-hmm. So for you, having been on both sides of the situation, what's your advice for people who feel that rejection might crush that person, or that they have those little tendrils trying to get you to please say yes, please say yes, please say yes?
We have a bunch of videos on handling disappointment. I encourage you to go through them, because being able to handle disappointment is something that actually can give you power in the world and make it easier for people to say yes to you. If you approach someone like, hey, I'm interested in this with you, but if you say no, I'll be okay, they're much more likely to be open than if you're like, oh my God, I need this from you, and I'll probably need it my entire life, and I really need this, and if you don't do it, I'm going to be crushed. People often try to put distance between themselves, or if we approach people from that way, if they start dating us or interacting with us, it's more from it's not as two equals, it's as someone who's doing a favor for someone or caretaking someone. And that's not what I want to create in my life anyway. So learning how to handle disappointment and doing the things you can to get your needs met as much as possible. We're much more needy when our tanks are low or we've had a lot of stuff going on. And I love having a circle of people I can ask for help, because Reid might be traveling or busy, or another friend might be going through their own stuff. If I have several friends I can call and say, hey, I'm having a rough time right now, are you willing to be there to support me? That makes me feel less needy than if, oh my God, you're the only person I can turn to right now. I'm more likely to be pulley or needy about that.
So to understand that dynamic, because most people haven't been watching these videos, so they don't know how to handle disappointment. That needy energy tends to be in my, working with lots of people and kind of seeing people at my workshops and stuff. There's the starvation kind of needy, which is somebody who's dying of thirst or hunger, who's at the free buffet and they can't wait in line. Like you're sensing their system is going they're in starvation mode, and they I need this now. Like
someone who doesn't get to conferences or events a lot, wasn't around a lot of sex geeks, and I think felt like they had to grab the opportunity while they could.
So there's that piece, right? Like I need it, or it's scarce. And scarcity is very different than starvation. So those are like two different settings on the phaser of neediness. And again, it's okay to have needs, and most people are just very sloppy or uncoordinated with understanding the energy that they're giving off or taking ownership of it, right? So you could be in line at the buffet and telling the people in front of you, excuse me, may I cut? I haven't eaten in actually 3 days and I'm starving. May I skip the line? So there's a way to just be transparent about what you're noticing about yourself, but that means you know these things about yourself and can find your words. The other situation is scarcity. This is my only opportunity, and scarcity is often woven with meaning, what we make it mean. If you don't sleep with me, then I'm not cool.
Yeah, this felt more a little status related.
Yeah, so welcome to the Cool Kids Club, Cathy Vartuli. Now you know what it's like a little bit, or a lot.
People wanting to get status by sleeping with you and kind of pulling at you for that.
Yeah, and they're like, oh my God, if you say no to me, what does that mean about myself? So a lot of people, again, haven't taken the workshops or done the work to realize that we all do this. I get that I make things mean things, and that I can handle my disappointment around what I'm making it mean. And I often tell people, I'm like, oh, just so you know, I can handle my own disappointment, but like, I'm a star fucker and you're a star, and I want, my ego wants this, and I can handle that, right? Like, I can sit inside of the container that is me and own it and keep it from just kind of gushing out onto you. That's a pretty high level of social and self-awareness applied, where you can own it and also kind of wrangle it a little bit, or at least turn the hose down, so there's only a dribble, not a spray going all over the place for people. So there's those two things. Another thing that can be interesting that I've noticed around like creepiness, because the starvation pulling occurs to some people, is that's creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. And then there's I have a hidden agenda that I'm not telling you that is creepy because it's underneath. It's different than the starvation or the needy.
I think it goes on with all of those, because if I'm not telling you that's my agenda, like if I'm like kind of pulling at you because I want stuff, I want either my identity, the status, or scarcity, I'm hungry, or starvation, any of those can, if I'm trying to get those met without owning them for myself and owning them to the other person, it can come across as creepy.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get something without owning it.
And so the awareness piece can help with unconscious agendas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm starving, I'm trying to cut the line. I make this mean something about myself, my self-worth. Then there's the like rejection means something from my past kind of a thing.
I'm not sexual or desirable or whatever.
Yeah. The things that this is proof, then I don't want you to reject me because I don't want proof about the thing I think about myself as. So like maybe that's a third quality. But when I say agenda, I mean, I know what I'm up to, and I'm being sneaky, right? Or I'm afraid to reveal my agenda, so I have to cloak it. Because I'm not supposed to own my sexuality, or supposed to do this, or supposed to do that. So there can be there's a cleaner version of an agenda, where you have shame, and then there's the I'm evil, trying to trick you kind of a thing.
Yeah, I think there is also it's kind of related to status, but there's times when people project onto someone else, and that does happen with stars a lot. It's not just, hey, you're willing to get out there, you have a lot of courage, you've worked hard on yourself, and you're out there in front of a lot of people making a difference, which is very attractive. There's also that I'm going to project my needs and my expectations on you, and then if I can get you to sleep with me, I feel like I've somehow won and gotten what I thought I needed all this time.
Say more about that.
It's not about being present with the real person. It's about, I think a lot of people that have...
I'm worthy if you've slept with me?
Well, I decide, it's easy for someone who's out in the limelight, for someone to decide, without knowing you, to project onto you the characteristics of someone they needed to be close to, an ex-lover, someone that rejected them when they were younger, project all those characteristics onto you, and then if they get to have that connection, they've healed, they haven't actually healed. They've arrived. They've defeated that bad experience in the past. Because it isn't real, they're not really present. I know that can feel when someone's not seeing the real me. When I can kind of feel the energy of you're trying to fulfill something that isn't actually about me, but you've just decided that's on me, and you want to get that back from me.
Got it.
I'm not sure of the word of that, but it's a projection kind of thing where they're trying to get something met, and that feels creepy to me.
Creepy or just... Yeah, I guess the other thing for me, a lot of this isn't so... Again, this is experience from a white, 6-foot-tall guy. It doesn't feel creepy to me in the way of, you're a creep. It's more of these are... for me, I'm these are things that human beings do. Oh, yeah. Look at this human being doing a human being thing.
I wasn't defining the person as creepy. I said the feeling I get from it is creepy.
Uneasy.
Yeah, there's something off, and I don't really want to be around it.
Okay. All right. What do you think? These
Yeah.
are a series of videos that have gone long. We apologize. What do you think about these things, these dynamics? Leave your comments. Ask questions. Thanks. Thanks for tuning in, Sex Geek. If you would like to continue with the brain sex, do me a favor and click subscribe right here. If you'd like to watch me on social media, that's where you're going to go. Next video, maybe? And if you really would like your own Sex Geek t-shirt, please click right here, right now. Boop. No, really, like...